This is A Drink with the Hurricane, the talk show discussing all things growing your home care business.
This one came specifically from the presentations we had today. Actually, the last two presentations we had. One talked about meeting the caregivers where they are. And then the other one talks about elevating the standards. Where do we find a happy medium?
Ooh, that's a great question.
Dr. Beverly, she was there advocating for caregivers.
Yes.
She's saying, hey, don't just, at the first sign of, I guess, discomfort, don't shut the door on them. Treat them with kindness. Meet them where they are, understand where they're coming from, and try to work with them in building your business. And I think you get a good response that way. And then
Go on.
yes, love you right there. When she came up, she says, hey, I got standards. I want people to meet these standards, and and this is where my business is, and everyone that comes here kind of flows with my aura. Right? So where's the happy medium there?
I think it's all about putting your values and your business values out there and constantly having a platform to talk about them, to model them. And really it comes down to being able to listen to your caregivers if there is a problem and trying to find that solution for them, but also recognizing their successes and the things that they are doing every day to help your clients, to build themselves up, and to show something from your values in the business. So for me, I think it's all about just being your values that you have built for the company.
All right, David?
Sure. I think this is the toughest question because we all know there's a caregiver shortage. We all know we need as many caregivers as we can get to be able to help us. But the problem is, the ones, if we let them, will run all over us. And I think that's the biggest lesson to take is we can't let the caregivers run all over us. And so being able to put standards in and essentially just have somewhat of a 3 strikes and you're out rule. Right? If they keep running over you, everyone's going to see it and everyone's going to keep doing it. On the flip side, if you set that standard and you let them go, others will notice that. And others will say, wait, okay, that's the limit. So just make sure you have your limits and don't be scared to fire caregivers if they're not meeting those standards and do it quickly.
I love it. Kelly?
I'm going to say, first of all, don't treat caregivers as one size fits all, because they're not. Each person is an individual. You have to understand the personality of the caregiver. The other thing that I would say are touch points. It's very important for us as the office staff to be able to have touch points with your caregivers. Because otherwise they're just sort of out there doing their thing, and if they're not getting the support, whether that's a phone call, a text message, a visit, right, an accolade for something that they've done, in my opinion, I think that's something that's really still missing. And so how do you do that? How does each member of your team contribute to that? So it's not just the scheduler, it's not just your care coordinator or your lead caregiver, it's everybody on the team. So that would be my recommendation.
I love it. And just kind of piggyback on what everybody said there with it, it's also one of those things where if the company culture and excellence standard is set, that filters through from the interview process with the caregivers as well. And we're hiring caregivers that have the same set of standards that we're trying to set with our organization. And so, yeah, meeting the caregiver where they are because of certain challenges, like Dr. Beverly said, because of upbringing and background and whatnot, that's not meeting a standard. So we meet the caregiver where they are, but they were hired because of the standard and they agreed to meeting the standard and holding accountable.